You ready? Okay, good job. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so I'm in Baja California, and I should say Baja California Norte because the state is split into the north and the south, or sur. And yeah, I'm just in the norte part, about an hour south of Tijuana. And I decided to do like a little wrap up video since my month and this part is coming to an end. Overall, it's been a good experience, I would say. Of course, being in another country always has its ups and downs, but I've enjoyed it and I'm really glad that I came here. I'll just start by talking about going through the border. I was really nervous about crossing the border because I've only crossed the border into Mexico one time before, but it was in Texas, and I had my friend with me who is Mexican and speaks fluent Spanish, so it was not as nerve-wracking. And we were on a bus with a bunch of other people. This time I was just in a car by myself. And so even when I was in North Dakota, I was getting really stressed out because there's all this paperwork and stuff that I needed to prepare. Luckily, I had brought my passport with me already, but I had to make sure that even Stella had like all of her vet records and was updated on all of her shots, and that the agency that I leased my car through, like I had written permission from them to take the car into Mexico and all this stuff. So it was really stressful. I didn't know what to expect, but I ended up crossing the border on a Saturday afternoon. I think I got there probably around 12:30, and I had to pull off to the side to get my FMM, which is your tourist visa. I'm not a fluent Spanish speaker, especially in real life situations. I get really nervous, even though normally I can understand it pretty well. But I went inside, thought I was in the right line, realized something was off, asked the person in front of me. I was in the line to declare stuff, which I didn't need to do. So I think he also didn't realize, he thought I was supposed to be in that line, but told me, oh no, you're supposed to go outside. You have to take a ticket. They look through your car first. So I went out to do that and then realized, no, I think this is still just for declaring stuff. Asked the guy in front of me, and he said, no, the FMM is like just inside, just past where I had been standing in line. So I had to go back. And once I got there, it took 5 minutes to get my FMM. Since I was going to be here long term, I did have to pay it's like $30. But I got that. I got back in line at the border, went through, nobody stopped me, nobody asked for any of the paperwork that I had spent so long stressing about. I mean, I'm glad I still had it and I needed all that stuff, but it was a lot less stressful than I thought it was going to be. And then it was really easy to get to the toll road. There's signs, and that's the road that I took. It goes all the way from the top to the bottom of Baja. So I was on that. It was a beautiful drive. You drive through Tijuana, you can see the ocean to your right. And then I arrived at Baja Mar, which is where I've been staying. It's where my Airbnb is. It's a beachfront golf resort, but there's housing, like people live here. A lot of expats and other like international people that have moved to Baja, or people that live here part of the year have like vacation homes here. It's gated, and they stop you at the gate every time you enter and exit. So I felt very safe here. People told me, oh, you'll be fine there, you'll love it, like you'll feel very safe. And I do feel safe. I'm staying in a little casita inside of like a part of the garage that the people have converted. So I'm on their property in their remodeled garage, but it feels like a little apartment. It has a little kitchen. It doesn't have a stove. It has like one of those gas like or propane stoves, which has worked okay. But there's, there's a microwave and a refrigerator, bed, couch, big TV, bathroom, no hot water in the shower, and not enough water pressure. So when I wash my hair, I actually have to take my liquid measuring cup in there with me to like get my hair fully like wet and rinse all the shampoo and everything out. So not my favorite thing to do. The internet here is okay. It's not great for what I do for a living, which is a lot of video editing. So it's been kind of slow in that regard, but they did warn me, like the Wi-Fi and like internet technology in Mexico is not as good as the US. So the weather here has been pretty consistent. I'm on the west side of Baja, so the Pacific Ocean. And then there's like the Sea of Cortez on the east side of Baja, which is the hotter side. But this side, it's like stays in the 60s year round pretty much, or maybe low 70s, and that's what the weather's been like. And there's been a lot of sunny days, which is really nice. There's also been some cloudy days too. No rain or any other kind of, weird weather. It gets kind of chilly at night. But yeah, so me and Stella, we go on walks every single day, usually in the afternoon when it's the warmest. There's lots of sidewalks and trails, and within 2 minutes, we have ocean views, which is awesome. Stella loves going on walks, and the vegetation here is beautiful. It's just like cactus and succulents and flowers. So we love going on walks. That's been one of the best parts. And whenever we go on walks, we hardly ever run into anyone. So it's just us. It's nice and quiet, except for the birds, lots of seagulls and pelicans and some little tropical birds that we'll see every once in a while. So that's been nice. And then in terms of, so I'm not really in a town. The closest town or city is Rosarito, which is probably like 20 minutes north. But I usually go south to Ensenada, which is not that much further. It's like 25 or 30 minutes, and it's much bigger. Feels like a real city, but there's more stores there, like almost everything. Well, yeah, everything I need is there. And it's a much more, I don't know, maybe touristy place. I'm not really sure. I haven't been to Rosarito, like I just passed through there. So, but yeah, there's lots of grocery stores. I have found a good like health food store that has a couple different locations where I've been able to get vegan yogurt, Beyond Meat, soy chorizo, vegan cheese. They have a lot of American products, a lot of like olive oil, chocolate chips, which are hard to find here. I think they even have kombucha and vegan ice cream. So it's a little more expensive, although actually it's probably the same prices you'd find in California. But I always try to go there and just stock up on some stuff and then get the rest of my stuff at like the local grocery market chains here. So there's a Calimax and there's a Soriano. And at the Calimax, they have vegan cheese there. I found Gardein breakfast sausages there. So I was kind of impressed with that. And I found a big thing of my favorite soy milk there one time, but they didn't have it when I went back. So that was sad. But, yeah. And then the Sorianos, and of course you can get produce and stuff there and everything. Sorianos I've been going to, it's pretty big. It's where a lot of the Americans go, I've noticed. And that's also where they have an ATM in the bank, and that's or in the grocery store, and that's where I've been pulling out pesos whenever I go there. But someone just posted on a Facebook group for Baja, that they went and they used that ATM recently, and it ate their card, like their debit card. It went in, but it would not come out. And then some got the card or what it got the information and spent like $1,500 on it. So, and I've heard of that happening here. So I got really lucky that nothing like that happened to me. Knock on wood. And I'm not going back to that one before I leave. So, but yeah, that does make me nervous. And stuff like that does happen here a lot, especially to like tourists. So, I've tried to be like really careful about stuff. And so far I've gotten lucky, but, let's see what else. So yeah, been to Ensenada. My Airbnb host is really nice. The wife, she's taken me into Ensenada a couple times. Because when I first arrived, I really needed to get an oil change. So she helped me find a place to do that. I got a Mexican phone, which she also helped me get, and showed me around some of the places in the town, in the city. And then actually this past Friday, she took me and we went to one of the big flea markets in Ensenada, which I was very excited about. I thought I was going to find some really cool stuff, like local stuff. But it was just American stuff. I noticed a lot of the stuff there, they had like Goodwill stickers on them. So I think probably what they did was they went into San Diego, bought a bunch of stuff at the Goodwills, and then brought them down here to sell them in their little flea market booths. So that was a little disappointing, I have to say. I still found a couple of things, but yeah, it was nothing really local. But then we went to this little juice, not a stand, but it was like a really small juice store. And I got a pina colada smoothie, and they actually had soy milk and almond milk there, which I was very impressed with. It was a delicious smoothie. And they also made me some vegan bean burritos that didn't have lard in them or anything like that. And they were really friendly, and it was like a very cute place, and it was pretty cheap too. And oh yeah, I went to an animal shelter to visit one day. And then I also met up with a woman in a Facebook group for solo travelers that do like van life, which I don't do, which I would love, but I would love to. But anyway, we met, and then she was here too. And we ended up going to the Valley de Guadalupe, which is like 20 minutes east inland. And it's like a wine country where there's all these different wineries all over the place and restaurants. So we spent the day there, and that was really fun. And she had found a restaurant there that had a vegetarian/vegan menu, which was awesome. And they were really nice there. And so that was a really fun day. And let's see, the day before my birthday, this past weekend, I went to an animal sanctuary that was close to Rosarito, up in the mountain or in the hill. And that was awesome. I loved going there. It was beautiful, and they had a bunch of animals, and they were really nice. So that was a great experience. And then the next day was my birthday, and I just decided to stay home, like stay in and just relax, and do some of my like favorite things at home that I like to do. I had actually found across from one of those like health food stores, there's actually a vegan pastry shop that has like cupcakes and cinnamon roll buns. And I not only got this this vegan shirt, but I bought a vegan tiramisu cupcake to eat on my birthday, and it was delicious. There was also a vegan taco shop downtown that I found, and I went there one day, and they made cheap, delicious vegan tacos, and they were really nice. And then next door I actually went I bought these, and I bought some little heart blue opal earrings because I had been running errands all day. I was really hungry. There was lots of traffic. I went to the vegan taco shop, there was a parking spot right next to the vegan taco shop. But as soon as, and I had to like do this parallel parking and all this stuff. And then as soon as I got in the spot and I started to walk to the taco shop, someone came out of the store next door and said, "This is just for our store. You can't park here." So I did not feel like moving. So I just went to their store, and it was a jewelry shop. And I looked around and I just bought those earrings, which made them really happy, so that I could then go next door to the taco shop and they wouldn't say anything to me. So, yeah. So, and there's been, driving around is a little stressful. There's a bunch of people in like a not huge town. You got a lot of tourists. I've run a couple of stop signs because sometimes they're hard to see, and the lights are hard to see sometimes. They're not as big as the ones in the US. So driving has been a little bit stressful, so I'm proud of myself every time I go out and run all my errands by myself, and I make it back in one piece. So lastly, I'll just try, it's kind of messy right now, but I'll give you like a small tour. But basically, there's Stella. Okay, so this is the couch. This is where Stella hangs out because I said she could be on the couch. And then unfortunately, this is all I have for my work setup, which can be a little stressful sometimes. Not the greatest, but I'm managing. But I like that the dresser's here because there's no closet, so I put all my clothes. I've been trying to take some Polaroids. This was at the animal sanctuary with one of the horses. That was Ruby. And then my friend Colleen that I told you I met in the Valley de Guadalupe for the day. Huge television. Bed. Hello, sweetheart. Oh, hi. Hi. A little storage area. So there's actually been enough storage that it's like good. The bathroom, which has no door on it, just beads. But yeah. Shower, and of course you can't put your toilet paper in the toilets, in most of the toilets in Mexico, so that's been fun. Front door, little table that I don't use for sitting, I just use for storage. And then the kitchen. So yeah, it's definitely been, like, you can do it. It hasn't always been the most convenient, but we're getting it done, aren't we, Stella? Yes. You're being cute. Oh my goodness. Oh yes, and then I forgot. When we went to the flea market on our way home, I spotted this like way far away on the road because me and my Airbnb host, we were talking about how I love Frida Kahlo, and I wanted to know, was there anywhere I could get like Frida Kahlo stuff here? And then literally like 2 minutes later, I saw this t-shirt just hanging on a hanger outside this shop, and it was only 80 pesos, which is about 40 bucks, not 40 bucks, $4. But yeah, it's been a very interesting, definitely took me out of my comfort zone, which I think is a good thing. But overall, I've felt safe. I don't go anywhere at night. I don't travel to sketchy places, or anything like that, or talk to random strangers. So, and it's been good to have an Airbnb where the hosts are right there if I need anything, which is one of the reasons why I chose this Airbnb. So even though maybe it doesn't have everything I want, I do like that. So I think it was a good choice for that. So, okay. Say goodbye, Stewie. Say goodbye. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're sweaty.